GM, it's the 4th of March, 2024, and this is your Solana debrief, a long form edition. Starting with the overall crypto market, things are going a little bit crazy. You can see Bitcoin's up 7 days, but we're not really too interested in that because we're mostly talking about Solana, which is up 30%. And in more kind of exciting news, meme coins are going absolutely crazy. So Pepe is doing very, very well. This on ETH, of course. Then we've got BONk. We also, if we come down a little bit further, we should be able to find dog with hat. Here it is down here, up 353%. Maybe we will just sort it by 7 days. And you can see it's meme coin season. That's where money's rotating. Retail wants to buy it. And as retail wants to buy it, whales want to buy it because they understand cycles and they understand what's going to pump. So I haven't really been capitalizing on this, mostly because I'm just middle curving it. If you do have time for meme coin research, by all means do it. Just remember it's a smaller portion of your portfolio. You just don't degen in. Every now and then you'll find someone that just goes crazy into one coin and they make it, but that's more like a lottery ticket. So don't risk it like that, in my opinion, not financial advice. We can't see it here on the top 100, but WhenCoin has also been firing, slightly down in 24 hours, but over the month, it's just gone crazy. The market cap is now $264 million. Now, I want to talk about BONk guy. Now, I personally don't have this kind of conviction, but I imagine he probably has more money than I do, because if I managed to turn thousands of dollars into millions, I would be taking profits, and he's still letting it ride. So I don't know actually what his worth is, but he's clearly a good trader. So let's go over this. From 16K to 12.7 million at the all-time high, down to 3 million when most of crypto Twitter said it's all over for BONk, and now back to 7.4 million. Only just beginning, in my opinion. This 7.4 million is now more than this because BONk has gone past its all-time highs. So let's have a look at the price that he initially entered in. This was $16,000 in USD value worth of a trade as far as I am aware. He had a decent long and the profit was completely massive. So how long has this trade been going? Well, we could probably go and search his Twitter and find that, but we can also work it out just by seeing the entry price. This is the BONk chart right now, and we can see we've got 4 zeros. We can see here there's only 1 0. Now, quite often when you're trading meme coins, it's done in 1,000 blocks. So we can see this is a trade of 1,000 BONk. And that's just because if it was just one BONk, it's not even worth anything, right? So all we have to do here is just add 3 zeros to it, which means that we could delete these 3 zeros. And in the previous thing, it says 0.02. It's now 0.03. So with that in mind, I'm going to check the historical information for 0.60 0.0000002637, or approximately that amount. So if we just go back to October, so not even that long ago, we can see it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 zeros right there. He may have got in earlier. He may have got in later. Right down here, it dipped a little bit lower. So maybe he did it here. Either way, it's likely he got in sometime in October. Let's do a little bit of calculating here. This was his entry price, $16,000. We'll divide that by the entry price, but we'll add the extra zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 2637. So that is 60,675,000 tokens. We'll copy that, and then we'll go back to CoinGecko. We'll paste that in, and you can see that's worth just over $2 million if it was just buying and holding spot. However, you can also see he had a long. He had a 6x long. Now that would probably be a little bit risky unless you really knew what you're doing or had a whole lot of conviction. This is clearly what this guy has. But this 6x means that his position's over $13 million, all from just $16,000 with a whole lot of conviction. How much further do these meme coins go? I have no idea. But just look for people that have massive conviction. Sometimes they'll get really good trades and they'll do well. Other times they'll make major mistakes. On this particular occasion, he's done absolutely well. And this is his thesis. So they told you utility is bearish for meme coins. Screw them. BONk guy disagrees. Study BONk with products generating over 100 million in annualized revenue, a portion of which buys and whatever does with BONk, gets rid of it, gives it off to as rewards, etc. Study Flocky with more ecosystem TVL than almost all other meme coins combined. And then here, I just see this here. Am I screwed because my BONk is locked for 6 months? No, you're not. I've got a video on how to hedge. So scarget.sol. So degen, if you want to, you can do a hedge play. Go watch that video on how to hedge. Now, there'll be a lot more meme coins that are coming along, and I'll be honest, I'm not good with this. So all I'm just trying to show you is go and watch these people because they know what they're talking about. They've had quite a bit of success. Maybe they hit some other really good ones. As an example, people on my timeline, mostly because there's a lot of DJ apes, they're talking about Mutai. Now, I have absolutely no Mutai, but if you want to learn more about Mutai, go and follow Bobby. No clue if it has any potential, but look for these people that have crazy conviction, but we need to make sure that the conviction is growing to other people, and that's how community coins kind of work. And this is Flocky, by the way. You mentioned it before. I mean, wow, absolutely crazy. I wouldn't be surprised to see some really good coins launch on BNB chain again, just because it has a huge number of users and it does attract degens. Maybe Solana meme coins will win this cycle, but I'm sure there's going to be some decent winners on Binance chain. I'm just not sure of any of them at the moment. Next, we've got the When airdrop. It's now worth over $200. So this was free for anyone that basically used JUP within the last month or something that to claim it. And initially it was worth about $50, and then it hit almost 100 or maybe 100, and then there was a lot of selling pressure, and now we're back up. At this point, just because I feel that people like to see round numbers, like a $200 target's kind of a sell wall, I think. I haven't looked at the charts. Just, $100 is, $200 is, $1,000 is. These things with just clean zeros, it gives a good representation of like, oh, I should sell here. However, I'm going to sell some of my When. I don't have a crazy amount, but maybe I'll sell a couple of $1,000s worth. The latest meme coin to push their stuff out is CWIF Solana. So if you had some JUP, maybe you were airdrop some of this as well. The market cap seems to be about 32 million. Maybe it's gone down. Let's have a quick look on the charts. Okay, so we can see it right here. It hit a decent peak a couple of days ago, maybe when I first mentioned it, and now it's come down. So what they've basically done, this is a token 2022 standard, so there's like a burn tax. But what they've done is they've just gone and pushed it out to like thousands of wallets. I mean, 447,000 wallets. So I would expect this to kind of go like this and then to come down because it was free. It was completely free, whereas JUP was not free. People had to buy it. Pretty sure there was minimal, if any, kind of airdrops. I certainly don't have any whatsoever. And I know I mentioned it quite a while ago in a video and completely faded it. I just didn't understand that a hat would make something so funny. So I was wrong. So CWIF, maybe it goes down a little bit, but they're clearly putting in the effort to get this out to everyone. I mean, this fully diluted market cap is pretty insane, but I'm not sure if it's completely correct. But they're getting it out to people, and then from there, maybe they up some crazy marketing, and maybe it does well. I think it has potential, but I know nothing about it. So we really just need to see how many more holders come, what the kind of volume is like, and then we can work out if it has potential. Now let's skip meme coins and let's get into some DeFi news. So this is the TVL of Solana DeFi airdrop protocols in 2024, January, and then just growth. There's a massive battle, of course, between Camino and MarginFi, and ta-da. Parcel's doing very well, and Drift is as well. I do not see that there's going to be a huge amount of value from Drift unless you're actually really active in using their platform. I've been using this a decent amount, and I have basically like 5 points, something really, really minimal. Parcl, I definitely love Parcl. I have very little funds in MarginFi. I'm not farming their point system, I'm just using their dApp. And Camino, I'm bullish on Camino. But in terms of all of these tokens, I'm most bullish on Parcl. I think it'll have its day in 2025 or 2026. Here's something from Mert. Solana always goes down. That's the narrative. The facts are Solana had one reliability incident in the past year. Ethereum had 2, and 1 resulted in an inactivity leak. I'm not even aware of this, but I'm sure his facts would be well researched. L2s combined had about 5 or 6x that, and other major L1s also had incidents with the exception of Bitcoin. And then this person here who loves multiverse as a core developer says, with exception of multiverse. Now, a couple of things. Mostly I'm going to be covering Solana, of course, and maybe in the future I can cover other blockchains. But there's a decent amount of people that are talking about multiverse. And if this starts to grow and grow and grow, then maybe it would be worth having a small bag of this. But I need to look into it myself, so I don't want to jump into it. The actual token is eGold. And before we get all excited on eGold, it has already done a cycle. I have some, and I didn't sell it. So this is it here, and it was initially called eGold. And you can see it had crazy highs back in November 2021 at over $500. And then some decent lows, and now it's at $69. So I don't have a crazy number of tokens, maybe like 10 or 20. and I was just staking them. And this is one of the issues with staking things. If you stake them and the price goes high, sometimes it takes a few weeks to unstake. You don't have that issue with Solana, but in the future, if you want to stake them and the price goes high and you want to sell them, you can at least start unstaking them and put a hedge on, as I just mentioned earlier. Now onto Parcl. If you are trying to farm with multiple wallets and referring yourself, you're probably going to get spotted. So just be very, very careful. They will be checking Sybil farmers. So Sybil farmers is when basically there's an attack of, a few people trying to look like thousands, hundreds of thousands or millions of users. And the goal is to overwhelm the network. In the crypto sense, it's basically when people are trying to extract a lot of value by pretending to be 20 or 30 people when they're actually just one person. Now, having said this, I actually have a couple of wallets there. I'm not actively trying to be like this. It's just, I've got my wife's wallet, I've got my wallet, and then I had one random wallet that I've just used for tutorials and things like that. So I should be fine. Most people should be fine. I think it's more if you're trying to exploit the system. Phantom has done a very, very cool upgrade. So you can now basically check on a token and see its actual contract address and copy it if you like, and then also see the price here as well. There's a new dApp out. I have no idea how new it is, but I've just heard about it. Solchat. So we're excited to introduce the audio calls feature, allowing wallet-to-wallet communication. Your calls are peer-to-peer, connecting directly between your browser and your friends, ensuring that your conversations are encrypted. Please note, both users need to be online to make or receive calls. I'm just putting this onto your radar. I wouldn't say that people are going to use this immediately, but it could be really, really cool. They only just joined this year. Now we just have to see if it has product market fit and if they've shipped a good product, and then just give them feedback so they can continue to grow. Now let's talk about Basket. Now I'll be doing a full video on Basket. This is something I'm very, very bullish for. I have done a decent amount of research, but I still have not done enough research so I can comfortably give you all the information in just a few minutes. So asset acquisition, Moontropica. So the people behind Basket are expert traders. They know cycles, they know crypto, they've been in it for quite some time. So this is not financial advice, but if they announce that they're going to actually be buying a token, I'm likely going to be buying that token myself. And then because I don't have the skills that they do, I'll probably set sell orders 30% higher, 40% higher, and so on, and then leave a very small moon bag. Now I have no idea what Moontropica is. We can certainly quickly check that out. But it's the first ever community-driven and crypto storyline-infused RPG. So this is it here. Looks quite cool. And let's have a look at what the token is. So the market cap is 52 million, and the token price is $23. And it's gone through a crazy run. Oh my goodness, that's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Good for them. Maybe we can only get it on Uniswap. If so, I may just wait a little bit, but I'll keep my eye on it. And maybe if I've got time, I can do a little bit of research into it. But if you've got time, go and research. And by all means, just put in the comments, give it to me, or even just DM it to me if you've done some decent research. My major point here is not to look into every token that they buy. It's more the fact, just to let you know, in my opinion, not financial advice, these guys are goated. So if they're doing a bet, normally it's going to have way better upside. Also, there are a lot of people that have a lot of questions on Basket. So as I mentioned, I will have a video on Basket soon. One thing for now, go use the SolWorks airdrop checker, check all your addresses and see if you've got Basket, and then just start claiming it. Personally, I'm not selling my Basket, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have a video on that. One other very, very cool thing that they're doing is they're using Wormhole in such a way that it'll be a native token. So you go from Solana to Sui, it goes across, you even get some gas so you can go and play, and then this is native. So it has value. I believe that is what their intention is. I might even cover this in a tutorial, hopefully tomorrow. More gaming news, the Heist. Tomorrow, which is now today, the game should be going live. The game is now down, and then about 6 p.m. UTC time, it should be up. Now, typically, these things can take a little bit longer, so check in Discord. If there are delays with the game, maybe it takes a few extra hours, or maybe it is live at 6 p.m. Either way, when it goes live, I imagine there'll be pretty much everyone that's online that knows and hears about this, they'll be jumping in to jump onto the game, and it might get a little bit slow for a few minutes. We'll see how it goes, but just letting you know, today is the day for Season 3. Here's a thread on how element holders are printing WEN and 7 other tokens. Now, I've covered this quite a few times, but this is the Asset Dash Super Swap. And just keep in mind, there is a 0.65% fee on every trade. So you have to work out if that really works out well. And I have a feeling, I think it will. When you're getting all these extra goods, it's kind of getting eyes on your project. So then from there, people that want to have their token here, they can give some to Asset Dash. It gets redistributed to people. The only thing is, if you actually have an Elements NFT, you get a 30% boost on all token rewards, which is fantastic. It's just quite often if I'm going to do a swap, I'm going to do a swap in multiple wallets. I'm not going to swap in one wallet and then send it to another wallet. But now that I have this information, maybe I'll be more inclined to do, say, 90% of my swaps in one particular wallet. Regardless, I feel at this stage it is worth the 0.65% fee that goes to the Asset Dash team. I haven't worked out any of the math, but if I just do some swaps, I mean, to be honest, 100 sold into this, that's a decent amount, and then there's only 44,000 when that's coming to you. But nevertheless, if I do this quite a bit, probably these rewards will start to stack up. Next, let's quickly talk about JUP, Jupiter United Planet. Now, I want to do a decent kind of small video on this, but my thesis is that JUP will become the biggest DAO in crypto by quite some distance. And I want to do this video so that other projects can watch it, use it as a reference for a thesis to see if this is something they should be doing. So here is the picture. You've got the team, then you've got work groups. These do certain things like the LFG Launchpad stuff. You've got the cadets. These are kind of like ambassadors. Maybe they are moderators. Maybe they're active on Twitter. Maybe they're just out there going crazy. There should be JUP bounties. They'll be able to get the JUP bounties and go from there. You've got the users, the people that are just here, of course, to use JUP. And then you've got the DAO. Then everyone can basically fit into the DAO if they have these tokens. And what my thesis is if you have a project, you want to try and incentivize people to really talk positively about your project. And in order to do that, you do need to reward them. You reward them with JUP, you reward them with allocations on certain things. You reward them however you can. And then I think the goal is you have communication. It goes out to everyone, but then there's going to be a lot of information. And so these people that are really, really active, they will stay on top of it. And then when someone comes into the blockchain from, say, Ethereum or Optimism, they can then use JUP. They have some questions. They can get all this information really quickly because they're connected to a person that's really, really active in the DAO. So you then basically have something like Apple. Now, I'm definitely not going to do the Frank D. God's comparison to Apple. It's not like that. What I mean is pretty much everyone knows how to use an iPhone. And if you don't know how to use an iPhone, then your friend does, or the neighbor does, or the person at reception does. And that's kind of what I think is going to happen. Everyone will know about JUP. Everyone will know how to do JUP. And when they don't know, they're just brought into this fold. They're educated very quickly. And then you've got a conversion. That's what my thesis for this DAO is. And to be perfectly honest, it makes me bearish on them because someone has to go and work out a complex product like Drift. And they don't care about their community that's actually putting in effort trying to get new users. Now, personally, I'm not offended. I just know that that's really bad marketing. So all I'm saying is there's an inefficiency in the market. So if you're a DApp, go and work on promoting others that are doing really good things like this. And having said that, all teams will make lots of mistakes. And all teams can't retweet everything, and that's completely fine. But grow your ambassador network and use more than just a referral network. That's my thesis, and that's why JUP will be successful. Just a reminder, if you've got some old NFTs that have no value, you can go to Re and you can burn them for Re. You can also go to Sol Incinerator and burn them for Sol. But if you go to ReDAO, and I've got a tutorial on this, I do think Re can accumulate value over the long run and outperform Sol. Having said that, I would burn my NFTs or put in a small amount of Sol, but I'm not going to go in with hundreds of Sol or anything like that. It's more about burning the NFTs that are rugs, funding the ReDAO, and seeing where it goes. Now let's talk about Gaimin. So I've had some people ask me, is it worth using the CDeFi platform to try and get some GMRX tokens? So let's scroll on down and we'll see a tweet. There's not a lot of information out yet, but I do think there will be more information coming out shortly. So there is an IDO coming in March, and we can see Gaimin is making huge moves and becoming a native super fast gaming L2 in a unique partnership with BNB Chain and Movement Labs. This will lead to some great changes in the project, and to give some time for that, we're having the IDO on 21st and 22nd of March, closer to the listing day. More information is just there. Now, CDeFi did really, really well in the last cycle, and will do really, really well in this cycle, in my opinion. But you do need to hold quite a few of their tokens, and it's on a different blockchain as well. Now, one thing to be very, very careful of is be very cautious of fake CDeFi accounts. If you're in the Gaimin Telegram group, you likely would have been added to a fake Gaimin one as well, and they have a completely fake link. So just go back here and click on the official link. 833,000 followers. This is the link. If we head back to CoinGecko, and we go have a look at their CDeFi token, S Fund, I do think this will climb, but it's already done a pretty significant climb already. If we just kind of zoom out 3 months ago, maybe we'll just go back a little bit further. So we can see in October, it was 60 cents. By December, it was $2.20, a small pullback to $2.72, and now it's $4.27. So it's done a 7x in a very short time, which is massive. It's bigger than Solana, it's bigger than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. The issue is you need quite a few of these tokens. You need to have 500 S Fund, which is over $2,000 worth of tokens in order to get any sort of token allocation from GMRX. This is as far as I'm aware. So we can see down here, Gaimin, we don't have all the details. So I've never actually used it. I can't actually give you information. You do have to do KYC as well, and KYC is not available for all countries. I'm very sure that the US will not be included. But if we go up here, we can see basically the Launchpad home. If you go up to the IGO Launchpad, so this is what you'll be using to get this token, and click on guides, then scroll on down, you can see this is the tier system, meaning those that have a huge amount get a whole lot more tokens, and you need 500 tokens just to even play. Now, I'm not entirely sure about this. I can see quite often they have a private and then a public. So maybe that means to access private, you need the S Fund, and then public, anyone can go. But I have absolutely no information. I'm sorry. And here, I don't know how much they're actually trying to target and raise. So we have to find out more information on this. Basically, my early research indicates that if we have 500 tokens and we put in the max allocation of USDT, maybe we're going to get $20 to $30 worth of tokens. Maybe those tokens have some sort of vesting schedule, and maybe they do a 20x. So if we're lucky, we may turn it into $500, which is great. But then we've still spent $2,000 on S Fund. So I'm really not an expert on this, and I can't find any really decent content to cover it. But what I would expect is if you're going to go into multiple different things on this blockchain, then you would probably do okay. But if you're just after GMRX, then maybe it's not the best option for you. Having said that, I will be buying 500 tokens, and I will be trying to get some GMRX. Last thing to talk about is DITH. This is an AI coin. I've been doing some research. It's not complex. It was just it's kind of explained in a complex way, but I need to do some more research before I give you all the information. Let's have a look at the actual token price though. I do think the token price will go higher. All I will say about DITH until I've actually done more research is it's basically a product. You hold a certain number of DITH tokens that gets you access to a bot, which gives some sort of indication on if a new meme coin or even in the future other tokens, if they have potential to go higher within the next 8 hours. And it does this by using AI and looking at past information on the blockchain. Because they have a working product, and because it largely caters to meme coiners and degens, I do think it has product market fit. But it has nothing to do with traditional AI in the sense of using your GPU to help out their machine learning programs or anything like that. It's not like Nissan, it's not like GMRX. It's completely different. The token allows you to access the gated community. And that's all the information I can give you today. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.